Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Prediction News, and today is the first video of a series that I want to start of me personally going over the Senate races in the 2026 election. So obviously right here, I'll be going over the Texas Senate election where the main runners are James Talarico, Jasmine Crockett, John Cornyn, and Ken Paxton. And the video is mainly going to focus on why I believe James Talarico can flip Texas blue, and I'll just go into detail why I believe this. So right here, we have a poll by Emerson College, really good pollster. You guys should definitely check them out if you don't know about them. But the other day, January 15th, they came out with a poll that has James Talarico leading against Jasmine Crockett by, I believe, right here, 9%, almost 10%. While in the past, and by the past, I mean like a couple weeks ago, Jasmine Crockett was the one leading James Talarico by almost like 10%. So this is big for James Talarico, obviously, because I feel like he is the one that's better to compete in Texas compared to Jasmine Crockett. And I'm going to go over this right now. So James Talarico, he is Jasmine. Okay, for some context, James Talarico is a state rep or a representative in the state of Texas, while Jasmine Crockett is a representative for Texas in the Senate. And I believe James Talarico already has the experience to beat Jasmine Crockett, because if you really look right here, he's represented the 52nd district and the 50th district in the Texas House. The thing about the 52nd district is that it's a very competitive, or not even competitive, it's a very conservative district. If you look right now, well, the district has been redrawn, but if you look right now, it's currently being held by a Republican. But when James Talarico ran, he won at the beginning by less than 2,000 votes. Slightly over 1,000 votes. Won 51 to 49 basically. And then in 2018 when he first got elected. Then in 2020 he ran again and he was able to widen his margin a bit. But then after they redrew the maps, he decided to switch over to the 50th district because it's way bluer and easier for him to win. But let me show you a bit of history when it comes to this district, because this is 2018 when he got elected. We go to 2016, Democrats didn't even run a candidate in the 52nd district. It was 40 for Republicans, or 40,000 votes for Republicans, 13,000 for a Libertarian. And 2014, which was the last time Democrats ran a candidate in that district, they only got 12,000 votes, slightly less than 40%, while Republicans got 56% with 18,000 votes, and a third party with 5% of the votes. So I feel like that already shows that James Talarico can win in a competitive state like Texas. He knows how to swing over, um, conservative voters, while I believe Jasmine Crockett does not have that skill. And obviously Republicans are going to be able to win conservative voters, but will they be able to swing over the Democrat voters, which I believe is not something that someone like Ken Paxton can do. So let's head over to the wiki right now. Ken Paxton, he's the one favorite to win right now, and Ken Paxton is an interesting person. He has not been he's not really approved of in Texas. I mean, we have right here the Texas Political Project, where he has a 56 disapproval rating and a 29 approval rating, and then 25 either down the middle, or they're not really sure. So I feel like not a good look for Ken Paxton. In my last video, I talked about how Ken Paxton is more a right wing person and more aligns with Trump, which obviously that could get Republican voters, but might not be able to get Democrat voters or even independents, which would hurt them against a candidate like James Talarico. Another reason why I think James Talarico is the better candidate is because he he's been he campaigns in red counties. Right here, he's been holding a bunch of town halls, and he's been campaigning in counties such as Bell County. And let's get some context on Bell County. Bell County, right here in Texas, kind of like in the middle. Um, currently represented by a Republican that leans 22% or to the cook PVI is 22% to the right. And then right here, represented by another Republican, the Cook PVI says, or well, Bell County is split up, so that's why. This side of Bell County votes to the Cook PVI is 11% or 11 Republican. And we can also see how they voted here. So government politics, Bell County has overwhelmingly been voting Republican since 1980, and even the last 3 elections have voted for Republicans over 50, with over 53% of the vote, and have not voted for a Democrat over 45% of the vote. So it kind of goes to show you what type of county Bell County is, and I think shows you how James Talerico doesn't really care that it's a, I'll say, kind of deep red Republican county, how he's going there. And he even says, I'm not sure if it's in this article, but he has talked about he does not care if you're a Democrat, Independent, Republican. He's here to unite everybody. And I think another major thing that's good for James Talerico is that he is he's Christian. He uses his Christian faith a lot, and he's one of the only Democrats I've seen in modern time use his religion as a Christian as a benefit. I feel like many Democrats kind of overlook how important religion is in people's lives, and James Talerico doesn't. He presents himself as a Christian who prays and quotes Jesus Christ and grounds his politics in his faith. So I feel like this is a big thing because I don't have an article to prove this, but I know I've seen this before, so sorry about that. But I know a lot of Republicans voted for George W. Bush mostly because of his religion, which I think was the reason why John Kerry lost the 2004 election. So someone like James Talerico, a Democrat who uses his faith as part of his politics, could also swing over a bunch of voters who are more just concerned about religion, like family values and stuff like that, which is something I don't see Jasmine Crockett doing as much, or even the current candidates for the Republicans. I mean, obviously, John Cornyn, I mean, all these people are Christian, but I don't really see them promoting that as something part of their campaign. So, yeah. And then let's go here. Let's look at Jasmine Crockett's favorability according to the Texas Politics Project. She is more unfavorable than favorable to many people, and a lot of these people who don't like her are Republicans, not really much Democrats, and the people who do like her are mostly only Democrats, which is already a bad look for her because if she wants to win Texas in a Senate race, she needs to have the ability to swing over Republicans. And let's look at James Talerico. James Talerico, he's only a state representative, so he's not really that well known, but he's not really unfavored or strongly favored by a certain party. Well, strongly favored by the Democrats, but unfavored, it's more kind of just like they don't know him, they're mixed. And the people who aren't sure or they don't have an opinion, I feel like it's also pretty mixed, 42% Democrats and 65% Republican. And knowing the history James Talerico has of being able to win in a competitive Republican district in District 52, I think he'll be able to swing over a lot of these Republican voters over to the favorable spot. And then we do have more people here. Wesley Hunt, also pretty unknown if he does manage to win his primary, which I don't think he will. But of course, he's only favored by Republicans and also strongly unfavored by Democrats. I think I might have John Cornyn's here. John Cornyn, also more unfavorable than favorable. He's only favorable with Republicans. No, he's okay-ish with Democrats, 8%, 2%, so like 10% with Democrats, but obviously more favorable with Republican, while obviously Democrats don't really like him. So there's another, well, John Cornyn isn't going to need, if it's a John Cornyn, Jasmine Crockett, I don't think he will need to swing over Democrat votes, but I think if it's a James Talerico, Ken Paxton will need the Democrat votes, and Ken Paxton will need Republican votes, and I think Ken Paxton will need Democrat votes, and James Talerico will need Republican votes, and I believe James Talerico has the ability to swing over Republicans compared to Ken Paxton's ability to swing over Democrats. Right here we have how Democrats think of him. And as of December 2025, 75% Democrats disapprove of him, while only 55% Republicans approve of him, with 20-ish% disapproving of him. So already not a good look for Ken Paxton and anyone who would be going against James Talarico. So right here we can also look at the polls, because Emerson College also did more polls comparing the candidates. So we have John Cornyn versus Jasmine Crockett. John Cornyn wins 48-43. Ken Paxton versus Jasmine Crockett. It's a tie, which I feel like it's a bit. No, I don't think it's that surprising considering that I feel like these are two of the most like unliked and quote unquote like polarizing people of their party. And then Wesley Hunt versus Jasmine Crockett loses 48-43. But right here, so 48-43, John Cornyn, Jasmine Crockett, and then John Cornyn and James Talarico. John Cornyn still wins, but it is closer, 47-44. Ken Paxton and James Talarico is tied 46-46, and then Wesley Hunt versus James Talarico, 47 Wesley Hunt, 44 James Talarico, but he keeps it close. And I think as November comes closer and as James Talarico keeps campaigning in just any county, anywhere he can like spread his campaign, his word, his face, and all that, I think more and more people will get to know him. More people would be more willing to vote for someone moderate like James Talarico compared to someone who's more polarizing like Jasmine Crockett or Ken Paxton. So as part of this series, I'm also going to be doing a map. So I'll say that James Talarico wins. He's obviously, it's not going to be a slam dunk. I don't think it'll be a likely, but I think in a good blue year for James Talarico and a good campaigning, I think James Talarico could win this Senate seat with a lean, maybe around 5%. So yeah. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please like the video. Comment whatever you want. I'll read the comments. I may reply if it's more directed towards me or just an opinion. My last video, a couple people commented, and I love that. I want to hear what you guys think. So tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. Tell me you think someone else can win. Whatever. But yeah, thank you. Bye bye.